My name is Christiane Stolhofer. I'm a wood sculptor and I live in Botswana, north of Botswana. In '83 I met a sculptor, Joseph Ntandarika, a stone sculptor in Harare. He gave me a piece of rock and said, try to work with this. And I was hooked very, very quickly. I gave up nursing the same year and became a full-time sculptor in 1983. I work with found pieces of wood. They are old pieces of wood that have been so long exposed over a long period that only the hardwood remains, and certain shapes of roots and certain surfaces that I then use in combination with my own ideas. And then in that meeting point between the wood and myself, right, to be true to that natural shape is a very important process. If a piece of wood talks to me, I have a very intense visual relationship with this piece of wood. So the wood is telling me a story that's inside the wood. And this story then becomes my own story. I use predominantly hand tools, which is a crosscut saw, adzes, curved chisels. And the sanding, I use a small hand drill with emery discs where I do a little bit of that rough sanding, and then I use many layers of water paper to get it to a very fine finish, and then at the end oiling or waxing with natural materials. And that's that. I think my style is between some level of abstraction, but also some point of recognition of an animal, of a bird. And sometimes people see it only after a while when they're looking at the sculpture. Suddenly they can see that animal in the piece. And then there are also times where I create it more naturalistic, where it is more recognizable. So I'm always moving between those two areas where it's very suggestive because the wood is just like that. I cannot put my finger on it exactly why I became an artist, but my mother was a painter. There was always an atmosphere of art when I grew up. But when I met Joseph Ntandarika and he handed me that rock, I was just ready for the experiment. I couldn't intellectualize it, but I had that need to experiment further, to try something else and get another rock and try again and so on. And I think that grew more and more, that I just didn't want to do anything else. And here I am, you know, all these many years later, and I still do the same thing. And I hope I can carry on doing it for another 10, 15 years. Would be pretty cool if I have that stamina.